Good morning, you handsome lot. And we have got, well, funny enough, it is Sunday. I've had to come in and do a little bit of a grafter-rooney. But we have got a little mini country one. We've got quite a few little faults with it. We've got a rocker cover, injector seals, oil cooler, and we have got a massive box full of bits, which is all in here that we're going to get fitted to this car. I think the first thing that we're going to be tackling is getting the injectors out, because we do need to replace the rocker cover, because I did have a little look at it last week or so, and it has got a really bad oil leak down the back of the engine where I think the rocker cover has split. I have done one of these before, I have done a video on them, but I think we're going to have a little bit of a struggle with cylinder 1 injector. But we'll have a look, Right, well, as you can see, I've now removed all the diesel spill pipes. Now you have to be careful, these, the centre of them pops up and then they just come out. Be careful because they will snap. We've removed the high pressure fuel lines. Please mark them so you know exactly where they're going. Now we need to get down to the nitty and gritty with this injector. Now what I'm going to do, get a little pick and try and dig as much as I can out, and hopefully that injector with a little bit of persuasion should pull out. Right, with all that carbon, coal, whatever you want to call it, out of the way, we're going to get a little bit of Launch Power Lube Plus. We've got a little bit of a squirty rooney. Leave it soak in for about 5 minutes while I try and get the rest of these injectors out. Now this is where you need to be extra careful. I'm not worried about being careful because I am replacing the rocker cover on it. Now, get yourself a little 15mm. Is there such thing as a little 15mm? I don't know. Flip it around. Put it there. I'm going to grab hold of it and we're going to give it a good wiggle. Right, come and have a little look here. See what we're doing. Got a little bit of a long bar. I'm going to get it right underneath the injector. Now be careful, you might not want to do this because I am on the plastic rocker cover. Give it a wiggle and a pull at the same time. And that is one injector out. Look at the state of it. Look at the state of it. With that injector out, that was probably the easiest part. Now, we need to clean all down there and get it spotless. And how I'm going to be doing it is with this little kit that I've had off Amazon, and I've had it 12 months or so. And it does a job perfect. I'll show you how good it is in a minute. Now when you're doing this procedure, please, please, please always take extra care when you're going in and out with the drill, because the last thing you want to do is go too far and damage things. So please always take time. Now generally after a few minutes with them attachments on the end of your drill, cylinder 1 now is looking, will it focus, I don't know, it is looking pretty much bang on. Now what we're going to do before we remove the rocker cover, we're just going to put some blue paper towel down there to stop any crap going back in, and we're going to clean every single one. All them injector ports now are absolutely like brand new. Now while he's over there on the grinder, he's probably my best mate, and this is his car. And this is the reason why I'm in on a Sunday, is because over the years I've been through some tough times, and he's been there for me. So sort of the least I can do. Anyway, should we get this rocker cover off? We have now got everything blocked off because we don't want anything going down them ports. We've got to remove this little bracket up here. We've got a new breather pipe which normally splits by there. We get the high pressure fuel rail off. Just need little bits of clips and one thing and another, and then it'll all be off. Just a little bit of magic, that rocker cover is now off. Now we have had to just pull it past the fuel line. Really you should need to take the inlet manifold off and pull it off the pump, but we've got enough wiggle room there just to pull it past. Now, where this rocker cover was leaking, now this is at the back. If you have a little listen, I have to put my mic a little bit closer. Listen to how that's hard. If we go around the back, it's nice and soft. Well, that gasket, that rubber gasket, has gone rock hard to a point where it's just snapping. And if you have a little look down the back here, you can see how bad it was leaking. It was literally pouring out. I think one of the most satisfying parts of doing any job is cleaning stuff. As you can see, that is absolutely minging. Now, remember the old days when people used to say, oh, put a little bit of elbow grease and get it cleaned. Elbow grease. I love this stuff, honestly. Give it a good squirt, leave it soak for a minute, and everything will come off. It's probably the best cleaner you'll ever get your hands on. After a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of cleaning with the carbine cleaner, that is now ready for the brand new rocker cover to go on. With a little bit of magic, that rocker cover is now back on. Now, we're going to jump around to technical information and find out what the torque settings are. Normally, in the rocker covers, they are about 10 newton meters, and that's through all manufacturers unless stated otherwise. But this old data that I'm using at the minute, I'm finding it very useful because it does give you complete step-by-step illustrations on how to do stuff. Now, if we go around to tightening torque, it is going to say 10 newton meters, but I will just show you. Cylinder head cover to cylinder head, 10 newton meters. Let's get talking up. Right, so we go ahead now and get these injectors put back in. Now, I have put a brand new copper sealing washer on it, and we're going to be putting some liquid moly, injector, and glow plug grease on it. Now, if they ever have to come out again, you should know by now, I like a little bit of prevention. If they ever have to come out again, the next mechanic that does need to take them out, it should just fly out. Right, let's get the clamp. Slide the injector and the clamp down together. Put the bolt in. And then we're going to get the high pressure fuel pipe. And remember, always put the pipes on before you torque them down. Because if it is out, it might not seal and the pipes might not line up correctly. Right, let's get that bolt torqued up to 8 newton meters and then 26 newton meters. And there we have it. With a little bit of magic now, everything is put back together. We've put a new breather pipe down there as well. And everything is clipped in as it should be. Now, we've still got lots and lots and lots of stuff to do on this car, with including an oil cooler, which is down there. And we've got to pull the front end off. But before we do, we're going to give this engine a little bit of a start. We going?
We're going.
Right, well, make sure you just connect your battery back up. Pop the ignition on. The fuel system will prime, and then we should go for a big start on the engine. Why isn't it starting? Don't tap the bloody spanner on there, you melted. Anyway, there we have it. It's built up fuel pressure and it is now running beautifully. Right, well, seeing that we're doing a oil cooler on this vehicle and it is having an oil and filter, and you did see the condition of how black that engine was inside, what we're going to be doing, putting a little bit of a launch advanced engine oil flush in it. And while we're pulling the front end off, this car is going to be getting up to temperature. And this is going to be doing a load of magic. Well, it does look a little bit worse for wear. Now, I could pull it forward just a little bit and leave the air conditioning on, but I thought, you know what, we're not going to struggle. We're going to degas it. There's 2 little pipes underneath, 2 10mm, and that whole front end now will be pulled off and giving us maximum room. We have now gone into full beast mode. Now, this car is having an oil cooler, and we've just had a look now, we've got it off. Down the bottom here, Somebody's been here previously. There's lots of silicone everywhere. And then what looks like a little bit of rad weld in there. And it is all full up on this one corner as well. As you can see, it's not a little job. And we've got this coolant pipe which fits underneath. Where's it gone? That one there, which was leaking. I don't know if you can see just underneath there. So we've got to remove the inlet manifold just to get to that top bolt. Absolute nightmare. But we're getting there slowly, We're not doing bad up to now. Not doing bad. The oil cooler on these, they do separate from the plastic housing, and it all comes as like a one big fitting kit. There's a new cooler, a great big gasket. One other gasket has just dropped on the floor now. And we've got other little bits and bobs that go around here. I'm going to plod on and get it built up. Now, when you're doing these jobs, the most crucial part is cleaning everything. Now, while I've been cleaning, I'm going to give you the money shot there. You can see all that rad weld that has gathered up in the bottom there. Look at it. It's absolutely minging. Now I've got to get all that out. Oh, I don't know why people use it like. It's awful. Right, well, with that stuff being absolutely horrendous, I've got the most of it out as I can. I can't really get it perfect, which isn't like me, and I don't like not getting it perfect. But we're going to get this new oil cooler on now with a new gasket and get that torqued up to 19 Newton meters. Well, there we go. That car, well, that engine, should I say, is pretty much back together, and the oil cooler is just tucked up right down there. We put a new water pipe on there, a fresh oil and filter, inlet manifolds back on, and everything is tight. All we've got to do now is pretty much just chuck that front end on. See, that front end is now back on. It probably took us about 20, 25 minutes. Bearing in mind, there is two of us. We're just going to slap some fresh oil in it now. Well, some fresh Commer oil. We put some fresh coolant in it. And it won't be long before we're getting on the key and give it a big starter-rooney. And just like that, that car now is all finished up. Now, I've even had time when the vehicle is up in the air to put some TFR on the floor and give me floor a little bit of a cleaner-rooney. As you can see, that car is ticking over now, lovely. We've got no leaks. Car's running up to temperature. Got 80 degrees. No fault codes. Everybody's happy. How's that for a little bit of a Sunday special? Now, I've probably done more work today than what I do in a week. But yeah, that has been a nice little Sunday job for me, mate. And I think, you know what? He hasn't long bought this car. I think he's been a little bit scammed. Simple reason being, somebody's known about that oil in that water to put rad weld in it. But anyway, that car is now all sorted. You're going to check the oil level in the morning and the coolant level because it's probably going to go down. Anyway, I hope you've all had a mint weekend. We're back to it in the morning. Anyway, let's get some.